The Complete Works of William Shakespeare by William Shakespeare. Act V, Scene 1. Before the temples of Mars, Venus, and Diana. Enter Theseus, Perithous, Hippolyta, attendants. Theseus. Now let him enter, and before the gods tender their holy prayers. Let the temples burn bright with sacred fires, and the altars and hallowed clouds commend their swelling incense to those above us. Let no dew be wanting. Flourish of cornets. They have a noble work in hand, will honor the very powers that love them. Enter Palamon and Arcite, and their knights. Perithous. Sir, they enter. Theseus. You valiant and strong-hearted enemies, you royal German foes, that this day come to blow that furnace out that flames between ye, lay by your anger for an hour, and dove-like, before the holy altars of your helpers, the all-feared gods, bow down your stub-born bodies. Your ire is more than mortal, so your help be, and as the gods regard ye, fight with Aestus. I'll leave you to your prayers, and betwixt ye I part my wishes. Perithous. Honor crown the worthiest. Exit Theseus, and his train. Palamon. The glass is running now that cannot finish till one of us expire. Think you but thus, that were there aught in me which strove to show mine enemy in this business, one eye against another, arm oppressed by arm, I would destroy offender, 'cause I would, though parcel of myself, then from this gather how I should tender you. Arcite. I am in labor to push your name, your ancient love, our kindred out of my memory, and I self same place to seat something I would confound, so hoist we the sails, that must these vessels port even where the heavenly limiter pleases. Palamon. You speak well. Before I turn, let me embrace thee, cozen, this I shall never do again. Arcite. One farewell. Palamon. Why, let it be so, farewell, 'cause. Excellent Palamon and his knights. Arcite. Farewell, sir. Knights, kinsmen, lovers, my sacrifices, true worshippers of Mars, whose spirit in you expels the seeds of fear, and apprehension which still is farther off it, go with me before the God of our profession, there require of him the hearts of lions, and the breath of tigers, the fierceness too, the speed also, to go on, I mean, else wish we to be snails, you know my prize must be dragged out of blood. Force and great feet must put my garland on, where she sticks the Queen of Flowers. Our intercession then must be to him that makes the camp a cistern brymd with the blood of men. Give me your aid and bend your spirits towards him. They kneel. Thou mighty one, thou with thy power hast turned green Neptune into purple, whose approach, comets prewarn, whose havoc in vast field earth skulls proclaim, whose breath blows down the teeming Ceres foison, who doth pluck with hand armipotent from forth blue clouds the mason turrets, that both makest and breaks the stony girths of cities, me thy pupil, youngest follower of thy dram, instruct this day with military skill, that to thy laud I may advance my streamer, and by thee be stilled the Lord day, give me, great Mars, some token of thy pleasure. Here they fall on their faces as formerly, and there is heard clanging of armor, with a short thunder as the burst of a battail, whereupon they all rise and bow to the altar. O great corrector of enormous times, shaker of o'er-rank states, thou grand decider of dusty and old titles, that healst with blood the earth when it is sick, and curse the world with pleurisy of people, I do take thy signas auspiciously, and in thy name to my design march boldly. Let us go. Exeunt. Enter Palamon and his knights, with the former observance. Palamon. Our stars must glister with new fire, or be today extinct. Our argument is love, which if the goddess of it grant, she gives victory to, then blend your spirits with mine, you, whose free nobleness do make my cause your personal hazard. To the goddess Venus commend we are proceeding, and implore her power unto our party. Here they kneel as formerly. Highly, sovereign queen of secrets, who hast power to call the fiercest tyrant from his rage, and weep unto a girl, that hast the might, even with an glance, to choke Marsy's drum and turn alarm to whispers, that canst make a cripple flourish with his crutch, and cure him before Apollo, that mayst force the king to be his subject's vassal, and induce stale gravity to dance the pooed bachelor whose youth, like wanton boys through bonfires, have skipped thy flame at 70 thou canst catch and make him, to the scorn of his hoarse throat, abuse young lies of love. What godlike power hast thou not power upon? To Phoebus thou add'st flames hotter than his. The heavenly fires did scorch his mortal son, thine him. The huntress all moist and cold, some say, began to throw her bow away, and sigh. Take to thy grace me, thy vowed soldier, who do bear thy yoke as twr a wreath of roses, yet is heavier than lead itself, stings more than nettles. I have never been foule mouth against thy law, never rev. Yield secret, for I knew none would not, had I kenned all that were. I never practiced upon man's wife, nor would the libels read of liberal wits. I never at great feasts sought to betray a bow tie, but have blushed at simpering sirs that did. I have been harsh to large confessors, and have hotly asked them if they had mothers. I had one, a woman, and women twr they wrong. I knew a man of 80 winters, this I told them, who a lassay of 14 bride. 'Twas thy power to put life into dust. The aged cramp had screwed his square foot round, the gout had knit his fingers into knots, torturing convulsions from his globy eyes had almost drawn their spheres, that what was life in him seemed torture. This anatomy had by his young fair fear a boy, and I believed it was him, for she swore it was. And who would not believe her? Brief, I am to those that prate and have done no companion, to those that boast and have not a defier, to those that would and cannot a rejoicer. Yea, him I do not love, that tells close offices the foulest way, nor names concealments in the boldest language. Such a one I am, and vow that lover never yet made sigh truer than I. Oh, then, most soft, sweet goddess, give me the victory of this question, which is true love's merit, and bless me with a signa of thy great pleasure. Here music is heard, doves are seen to flutter, they fall again upon their faces, then on their knees. Palamon. O thou, that from 11 to 9 high reign'st in mortal bosoms, whose chase is this world, and we in herds thy game, I give thee thanks for this fair token, which, being laid unto mine innocent true heart, arms in assurance they bow my body to this business. Let us rise and bow before the goddess, time comes on. Exeunt. Still music of records. Enter Amelia in white, her hair about her shoulders, wearing a wheaten wreath, one in white holding up her train, her hair stuck with flowers, one before her carrying a silver hind, in which is conveyed incense and sweet odors, which being set upon the altar of Diana, her maid standing aloof, she sets fire to it, then they curtsy and kneel. Amelia. O sacred, shadowy, cold and constant queen, abandoner of revels, mute, contemplative, sweet, solitary, white as chaste, and pure as Windifan's snow, who to thy female knights allow'st no more blood than will make a blush, which is their order's robe, I here, thy priest, am humbled before thine altar. O vouchsafe, with that thy rare green eye, which never yet beheld thing maculate, look on thy virgin, and sacred silver mistress. Lend thine ear, which never heard skirlterm, into whose port nary entree wanton found, to my petition seasoned with holy fear. This is my last of vestal office. I am bride habited, but maiden heart, a husband I have pointed, but do not know him. Out of 2 I should choose one and pray for his success, but I am guiltless of election. Of mine eyes, were I to lose one, they are equal precious. I could do neither, that which perish should go tout unsentient. Therefore, most modest queen, he of the 2 pretenders, that best loves me and has the truest title in't, let him take off my wheaten girland, or else grant the file and quality I hold, I may continue in thy band. Here the hind vanishes under the altar, and in the place ascends a rose tree, having 1 rose upon it. See what our general of ebbs and flows out from the bowels of her holy altar with sacred act advances. But 1 rose, if well inspurred, this battail shall confound both these brave knights, and I, a virgin flower, must grow alone unplucked. Here is heard a sodaying twang of instruments, and the rose fowls backslash from the tree, which vanishes under the altar. The flower is fallen, the tree descends. O mistress, thou here dischargest me. I shall be gathered, I think so, but I know not thine own will. Then clasp thy mystery. I hope she's pleased, her signas were gracious. They curtsy and exit. Scene 2. A darkened room in the prison. Enter Doctor, Eiler and wooer, in habit of Palamon. Doctor. Has this advice I told you done any good upon her? Wooer. Oh, very much. The maids that kept her company have half persuaded her that I am Palamon. Within this half hour she came smiling to me, and asked me what I would eat, and when I would kiss her. I told her presently, and kissed her twice. Doctor. 'Twas well done. 20 times had been far better, for there the cure lies mainly. Wooer. Then she told me she would watch with me tonight, for well she knew what hour my fit would take me. Doctor. Let her do so, and when your fit comes, fit her home, and presently. Wooer. She would have me sing. Doctor. You did so? Wooer. No. Doctor. 'Twas very ill done, then. You should observe her every way. Wooer. Alas, I have no voice, sir, to confirm her that way. Doctor. That's all one, if ye make a noise, if she entreat again, do anything, lie with her, if she ask yo. You. Eiler. Hoa there, doctor. Doctor. Yes, in the way of cure. Eiler. But first, by your leave, ith way of honesty. Doctor. That's but a niceness, never cast your child away for honesty. Cure her first this way, then if she will be honest, she has the path before her. Eiler. Thank ye, doctor. Doctor. Pray bring her in, and let's see how she is. Eiler. I will, and tell her Palamon stays for her. But doctor, methinks you are ith wrong still. Exit Eiler. Doctor. Go, go. You fathers are fine fools. Her honesty? And we should give her physic till we find that wor. Why, do you think she is not honest, sir? Doctor. How old is she? Wooer. She's 18. Doctor. She may be, but that's all one. 'Tis nothing to our purpose. Whate'er her father says, if you persave her mood inclining that way that I spoke of, videlicet, the way of flesh you have me. Wooer. Yet very well, sir. Doctor. Please her appetite, and do at home, it cures her, ipso facto, the melancholy humor that infects her. Wooer. I am of your mind, doctor. Enter Eiler, daughter, maid. Doctor. You'll find it so, she comes, pray humor her. Eiler. Come, your love Palamon stays for you, child, and has done this long hour, to visit you. Daughter. I thank him for his gentle patience, he's a kind gentleman, and I am much bound to him. Did you never see the horse he gave me? Eiler. Yes. Daughter. How do you like him? Eiler. He's a very fair one. Daughter. You never saw him dance? Eiler. No. Daughter. I have often. He dances very finely, very comely, and for come cut and long tail to him, he turns you like a top. Eiler. That's fine indeed. Daughter. He'll dance the Morris 20 mile an hour, and that will founder the best hobby horse, if I have any skill, in all the parish, and gallops to the turn of light a love. What think you of this horse? Eiler. Having these virtues, I think he might be brought to play at tennis. Daughter. Alas, that's nothing. Eiler. Can he write and read too? Daughter. A very fair hand, and casts himself th accounts of all his hay and provender. That hostler must rise betime that cozens him. You know the chestnut mare the Duke has? Eiler. Very well. Daughter. She is horribly in love with him, poor beast, but he is like his master, coy and scornful. Eiler. What dowry has she? Daughter. Some 200 bottles, and 20 strike of oats. But he'll any have her. He lisps in's neighing, able to entice a miller's mare, he'll be the death of her. Doctor. What stuff she utters! Eiler. Make curtsy, here your love comes. Wur. Pretty soul, how do ye? That's a fine maid, there's a curtsy. Daughter. Yours to commandeth way of honesty. How far is now to th and oth world, my masters? Doctor. Why, a day's irony, wench. Daughter. Will you go with me? Wur. What shall we do there, wench? Daughter. Why, play at still ball, what is there else to do? Wur. I am content, if we shall keep our wedding there. Daughter. 'Tis true, for there, I will assure you, we shall find some blind priest for the purpose, that will venture to marry us, for here they are nice and foolish. Besides, my father must be hanged tomorrow, and that would be a blot ith business. Are not you Palamon? Wur. Do not you know me? Daughter. Yes, but you care not for me. I have nothing but this poor petticoat, and 2 coarse smocks. Wur. That's all one, I will have you. Daughter. Will you surely? Wur. Yes, by this fair hand will I. Daughter. We'll to bed then. Wur. Evan, when you will. Kisses her. Daughter. Oh, sir, you would fain be nibbling. Wur. Why do you rub my kiss off? Daughter. 'Tis a sweet one, and will perfume me finely against the wedding. Is not this your cousin Arcite? Doctor. Yes, sweetheart, and I am glad my cousin Palamon has made so fair a choice. Daughter. Do you think he'll have me? Doctor. Yes, without doubt. Daughter. Do you think so too? Eiler. Yes. Daughter. We shall have many children. Lord, how we are grown! My Palamon, I hope, will grow too, finely, now he's at liberty. Alas, poor chicken, he was kept down with hard meat and ill lodging, but I'll kiss him up again. Enter a messenger. Messenger. What do you hear? You'll loose the noblest sight that ever was seen. Eiler. Are they ith field? Messenger. They are. You bear a charge there too. Eiler. I'll away straight. I must even leave you here. Doctor. Nay, we'll go with you. I will not loose the fight. Eiler. How did you like her? Doctor. I'll warrant you, within these 3 or 4 days I'll make her right again. You must not from her, but still preserve her in this way. Wur. I will. Doctor. Let's get her in. Wur. Come, sweet, we'll go to dinner, and then we'll play at cards. Daughter. And shall we kiss too? Wur. 100 times. Daughter. And 20. Wur. Aye, and 20. Daughter. And then we'll sleep together. Doctor. Take her offer. Wur. Yes, marry will we. Dot. Yar. But you shall not hurt me. Wur. I will not, sweet. Daughter. If you do, love, I'll cry. Flourish. Exeunt Scene 3. A place near the lists. Enter Theseus, Hippolyta, Emilia, Perithous, and some attendants. T. Tuck Curtis. Emilia. I'll no step further. Perithous. Will you loose this sight? Emilia. I had rather see a wren hawk at a fly than this decision. Every blow that falls threats a brave life, each stroke laments the place whereon it falls, and sounds more like a bell than blade. I will stay here. It is enough my hearing shall be punished with what shall happen gainst the which there is no deafing, but to hear not taint mine eye with dread sights, it may shun. Perithous. Sir, my good lord, your sister will know further. Theseus. Oh, she must. She shall see deeds of honor in their kind, which sometimes show well, penciled. Nature now shall make and act the story, the belief both sealed with eye and ear, you must be present, you are the victor's meed, the price, and garland to crown the question's title. Amelia. Pardon me, if I were there I'd wink. Theseus. You must be there. This trial is as twrith night, and you the only star to shine. Amelia. I am extinct. There is but envy in that light, which shows the one the other, darkens, whichever was the dam of horror, who do stand accursed of many more all millions, may even now, by casting her black mantle over both, that neither could find other, get herself some part of a good name, and many a murther set off werto she's guilty. Hippolyta. You must go. Amelia. In faith I will not. Theseus. Why, the knights must kindle their valor at your eye. No, of this war you are the treasure, and must needs be by to give the service pay. Amelia. Sir, pardon me, the title of a kingdom may be tried out of itself. Theseus. Well, well then, at your pleasure, those that remain with you could wish their office to any of their enemies. Hippolyta. Farewell, sister. I am like to know your husband for yourself by some small start of time, he whom the gods do of the two know best, I pray them he be made your lot. Exeunt Theseus, Hippolyta, Perithous, and C. Amelia. Arcite is gently visaged, yet his eye is like an engine bent, or a sharp weapon in a soft sheath. Mercy and manly courage are bedfellows in his visage. Palamon has a most menacing aspect, his brow is grabbed, and seems to bury what it frowns on, yet sometime 'tis not so, but alters to the quality of his thoughts. Long time his eye will dwell upon his object. Melancholy becomes him nobly, so does Arcites' mirth, but Palamon's saddens is a kind of mirth, so mingled, as if mirth did make him sad, and saddens merry. Those darker humours that stick misbecomingly on others, on them live in fair dwelling. Cornets. Trumpets sound as to a charge. Hark, how yon spurs to spirit do incite the princes to their proof. Arcite may win me, and yet may Palamon wound Arcite to the spoiling of his figure. Oh, what pity enough for such a chance! If I were by, I might do hurt, for they would glance their eyes toward my seat, and in that motion might omit a ward, or forfeit an offence which craved that very time. It is much better I am not there. Oh, better never born than minister to such harm. Cornets. A great cry and noise within, crying a Palamon. What is the chance? Enter servant. Servant. Decrees a Palamon. Amelia. Then he has won. 'Twas ever likely. He looked all grace and success, and he is doubtless the primmest of men. I prithee, run and tell me how it goes. Shout, and cornets, crying, a Palamon. Servant. Still Palamon. Amelia. Run and inquire. Poor servant, thou hast lost. Upon my right side still I wore thy picture, Palamon's on the left. Why so, I know not. I had no end in else, chance would have it so. On the sinister side the heart lies, Palamon had the best boding chance. Another cry, and shout within, and cornets. This burst of clamour is sure th combat. Enter servant. Servant. They say that Palamon had Arcites' body within an inch of pyramid, that the cry was general a Palamon. But, anon, assistants made a brave redemption, and the two bold titlers, at this instant are hand to hand at it. Amelia. Were they metamorphosed both into one? Oh, why? There were no woman worth so compassed a man. Their single share, their noblings peculiar to them, gives the prejudice of disparity, values shortens, cornets. Cry within, Arcite, Arcite. To any lady breathing more exulting? Palamon still? Servant. Nay, now the sound is Arcite. Amelia. I prithee, lay attention to the cry, cornets. A great shout and cry, Arcite, victory. Set both thine ears to Bucines. Servant. The cry is Arcite, and victory, hark, Arcite, victory. The combat's consummation is proclaimed by the wind instruments. Amelia. Half-sight saw that Arcite was no babe. God's Lyd. His rickneys and cost lines of spirit looked through him. It could no more be hid in him than fire. In flax, then humble banks can go to law with waters, that drift winds forced to raging. I did think good Palamon would miscarry, yet I knew not why I did think so. Our reasons are not prophets, when oft our fancies are. They are coming off, alas, poor Palamon! Cornets. Enter Theseus, Hippolyta, Pirithous, Arcite as victor, and attendants, and see. Theseus. Lo, where our sister is in expectation, yet quaking, and unsettled. Fairest Emily, the gods by their divine arbitrament have given you this knight. He is a good one as ever strook at head. Give me your hands, receive you her, you him, be plighted with a love that grows as you decay. Arcite. Emily, to buy you, I have lost what's dearest to me, save what is bought, and yet I purchase cheaply, as I do rate your value. Theseus. O loved sister, he speaks now of as brave a knight as e'er did spur a noble steed. Surely, the gods would have him die a bachelor, lest his race should shew ith world too godlike. His behavior so charmed me, that methought Alcides was to him a sow of lead. If I could praise each part of him to all I have spoke, your Arcite did not lose spite, for he that was thus good encountered yet his better. I have heard two emulous Philomels beat the knight with their contentious throats, now one the higher, anon the other, then again the first, and by outbreasted, that the sense could not be judged between them, so it fared good space between these kinsmen, till heavens did make hardly one the winner. Wear the girland with joy that you have won, for the subdued, give them our present Iestus, since I know their lives but pinch let it here be done. The scene's not for our seeing, go we hence, right joyful, with some sorrow. Arm your prize, I know you will not lose her. Hippolyta, I see one eye of yours conceives a tear the which it will deliver. Flourish. Amelia. Is this winning? O all you heavenly powers, where is your mercy? But that your wills have said it must be so, and charged me live to comfort this unfriended, this miserable prince, that cuts away a life more worthy from him than all women, I should, and would, die too. Hippolyta. Infinite pity, that far such eyes should be so fixed on one that two must needs be blind for't. Theseus. So it is. Exeunt. Scene 4. The same, a block prepared. Enter Palamon and his knights pinioned, Eyler, executioner, and C. Guard. Palamon. There's many a man alive that hath outlived the love o'th people. Yea, ith self-same state stands many a father with his child. Some comfort we have by so considering. We expire, and not without men's pity. To live still, have their good wishes. We prevent the loathsome misery of age, beguile the gout and rheum, that in lagged hours attend for grey approaches. We come towards the gods young and unwhoppered, not halting under crimes many and stale, that sure shall please the gods, sooner than such, to give us nectar with them, for we are more clear spirits. My dear kinsmen, whose lives, for this poor comfort, are laid down, you have sold them too cheap. One night? What ending could be of more content? Or us the victors have fortune, whose title is as momentary, as to us death is certain, a grain of honor they not o'erweigh us. 2 night. Let us bid farewell, and with our patience anger tottering fortune, who at her certainst reels. 3 night. Come, who begins? Palamon. Even he that led you to this banquet shall taste to you all. Aha, my friend, your gentle daughter gave me freedom once. You'll see done now forever, pray, how do yes she? I heard she was not well. Her kind of ill gave me some sorrow. Eyler. Sir, she's well restored, and to be married shortly. Palamon. By my short life, I am most glad on't. 'Tis the latest thing I shall be glad of. Prithee tell her so, commend me to her, and to peace her portion, tender her this. Gives purse. 1 night. Nay, let's be offerers all. 2 night. Is it a maid? Palamon. Verily, I think so, a right good creature, more to me deserving than I can quite or speak of. All knights commend us to her. They give their purses. Eiler. The gods requite you all, and make her thankful. Palamon. Adieu, and let my life be now as short as my leave-taking. Lies on the block. 1 Knight. Lead courageous Cosin. 2 Knight. We'll follow cheerfully. A great noise within crying, Run, save, hold. Enter in haste a messenger. Messenger. Hold, hold. Oh, hold, hold, hold. Enter Pirithous in haste. Pirithous. Hold. Hoa! It is a cursed haste you made, if you have done so quickly. Noble Palamon, the gods will shew their glory in a life that thou art yet to lead. Palamon. Can that be when Venus, I have said, is false? How do things fare? Pirithous. Arise, great sir, and give the tidings that are most dearly sweet and bitter. Palamon. What hath wacked us from our dream? Pirithous. List then, your Cosin, mounted upon a steed that Emily did first bestow and him, a black one, owing not a hair worth of white, which some will say weakens his price, and many will not buy his goodness with this note, which superstition here finds allowance on this horse is Arcite trotting the stones of Athens, which the Calkins did rather tell than trample, for the horse would make his length a mile, if pleased his rider to put pride in him, as he thus went counting the flinty pavement, dancing, as twr. To th music his own hoofs made, for as they say, from iron came music's origin, what envious flint, cold as old satin, and like him posseused with fire malevolent, darted a spark, or what fair sulphur else, to this end made, I comment not. The hot horse, hot as fire, took toy at this, and felt to what disorder his power could give his will, bounds, comes on end, forgets scold doing, being therein trained, and of kind manage, pig-like he whines at the sharp rowel, which he freets at rather than any jot obeys, seeks all foule means of boisterous and rough iadry, to disseat his lord that kept it bravely, when not served, when neither curb would crack, girth break nor different plunges disroot his rider whence he grew, but that he kept him tween his legs, on his hind hoofs on end he stands, that Arcides' legs, being higher than his head, seemed with strange art to hand, his victor's wreath even then fell off his head, and presently backward the Iad comes o'er, and his full poise becomes the rider's load. Yet is he living, but such a vessel 'tis, that floats but for the surge that next approaches, he much desires to have some speech with you, lo he appears. Enter Theseus, Hippolyta, Amelia, Arcite in a chair. Palamon. O miserable end of our alliance! The gods are mighty, Arcite, if thy heart, thy worthy, manly heart, be yet unbroken, give me thy last words. I am Palamon, one that yet loves thee dying. Arcite. Take Amelia and with her all the world's joy, reach thy hand, farewell, I have told my last hour. I was false, yet never treacherous, forgive me, Cosin, one kiss from fair Amelia, 'tis done, take her, I die. Palamon. Thy brave soul seek Elysium. Amelia. I'll close thine eyes, prince, blessed souls be with thee. Thou art a right good man, and while I live, this day I give to tears. Palamon. And I to honor. Theseus. In this place first you fought, even very here I sundered you, acknowledge to the gods our thanks that you are living. His part is played, and though it were too short he did it well, your day is lengthened, and the blissful dew of heaven does arouse you. The powerful Venus well hath cracked her altar, and given you your love, our master Mars hath vouched his oracle, and to Arcite gave the grace of the contention, so the deities have showed due justice, bear this hence. Palamon. O Cosin, that we should things desire, which do cost us the loss of our desire. That naught could buy dear love, but loss of dear love. Theseus. Never fortune did play a subtler game, the conquered triumphs, the victor has the loss, Yet in the passage the gods have been most equal. Palamon, your kinsman hath confessed the right oth lady did lie in you, for you first saw her, and even then proclaimed your fancy. He restored her as your stolen Yule, and desired your spirit to send him hence forgiven. The gods my justice take from my hand, and they themselves become the executioners. Lead your lady off, and call your lovers from the stage of death, whom I adopt my friends. A day or two let us look sadly, and give grace unto the funeral of our sight, in whose end the visages of bridegrooms will put on and smile with Palamon, for whom an hour, but 1 hour, since, I was as dearly sorry, as glad of our sight, and am now as glad, as for him sorry. O you heavenly charmers, what things you make of us! For what we lack we laugh, for what we have, are sorry, still are children in some kind. Let us be thankful for that which is, and with you leave dispute that are above our question. Let's go off, and bear us like the time. Flourish. Excellent. Epilogue. I would now ask ye how ye like the play, but, as it is with schoolboys, cannot say, I am cruel fearful. Pray, yet stay a while, and let me look upon ye. No man smile? Then it goes hard, I see. He that has loved a young handsome wench, then, show his face 'tis strange if none be here, and if he will against his conscience, let him hiss, and kill our market. 'Tis in vain, I see, to stay ye. Have at the worst can come then. Now what say ye? And yet mistake me not, I am not bold, we have no such cause. If the tale we have told, for 'tis no other, any way content ye, for to that honest purpose it was meant ye, we have our end, and ye shall have ere long, I dare say, many a better, to prolong your old loves to us, we, and all our might rest at your service. Gentlemen, good night. Flourish. The Winter's Tale Contents Act I Scene I. Cecilia. An antechamber in Leontes' palace. Scene 2. The same. A room of state in the palace. Act 2 Scene I. Cecilia. A room in the palace. Scene 2. The same. The outer room of a prison. Scene 3. The same. A room in the palace. Act 3 Scene I. Cecilia. A street in some town. Scene 2. The same. A court of justice. Scene 3. Bohemia. A desert country near the sea. Act 4 Scene I. Prologue. Scene 2. Bohemia. A room in the palace of Polixenes. Scene 3. The same. A road near the shepherd's cottage. Scene 4. The same. A shepherd's cottage. Act Scene I. Cecilia. A room in the palace of Leontes. Scene 2. The same. Before the palace. Scene 3. The same. A room in Paulina's house. Dramatis Personae Leontes, king of Sicilia Mamilius, his son Camillo, Sicilian lord Antigonus, Sicilian lord Cleomenes, Sicilian lord Dion, Sicilian lord Polixenes, king of Bohemia Florizel, his son Archidmus, a Bohemian lord and old shepherd, reputed father of Perdita Clown, his son Autolycus. A rogue, a mariner, a jailer servant to the old shepherd, other Sicilian lords, Sicilian gentlemen, officers of a court of judicature, Hermione, queen to Leontes, Perdita, daughter to Leontes and Hermione. Paulina, wife to Antigonus Emilia, a lady attending on the queen Mopsa, shepherdess Dorcas, shepherdess other ladies, attending on the queen lords, ladies, and attendants, satyrs for a dance, shepherds, shepherdesses, guards, and sea. Time, as chorus scene, sometimes in Sicilia, sometimes in Bohemia.